How often should you feed your cat wet food? And that's the big question, isn't it? It's one I get all the time. People see wet food as a special treat, a little something for Sunday dinner. But I'm here to tell you to change that thinking. Wet food isn't just a treat, it's essential. It's about honoring the raw cat that lives inside your fluffy companion. So the short answer is, ideally, every single day. For some cats, every single meal. That might sound like a lot, but stick with me. We need to get back to what a cat is, what their bodies are designed for. Forget what's convenient for us. Let's focus on what's right for them. This is about their health, their happiness, their mojo. Let's dig into this. Your cat is a desert animal by ancestry. Their great-great-great-grandkitties didn't have a water bowl next to their food source. They got most of their water from their food. Think about it. A mouse is about 70% water. A bird is about 70% water. Dry kibble, it's about 10% water. That's a huge difference. When we only feed our cats dry food, we are putting them in a constant state of mild dehydration. This can lead to serious health problems down the road. Wet food brings that moisture back into their diet, mimicking what they would eat in the wild. It's not a luxury, it's a biological necessity. So when we talk about frequency, we're really talking about a fundamental shift in how we view cat nutrition. It's not about spoiling them, it's about providing them with a species-appropriate diet. Feeding wet food once or twice a day should be the standard, not the exception. This simple change can have a massive impact on your cat's long-term well-being, from their kidneys to their urinary tract to their overall energy levels. We want our cats to thrive, not just survive. And thriving starts at the food bowl. It's a core component of creating a happy home environment where your cat can truly be themselves. Understanding this core principle is step one. The rest is about tailoring it to your specific cat. Your cat is an individual, with their own needs, their own history, and their own preferences. A tiny kitten has different needs than a lazy senior cat. A cat with a weight problem needs a different approach than an underweight stray you just rescued. The goal is to provide that moisture-rich diet in a way that works for your cat. So let's throw out the idea of wet food as a special occasion. Let's start seeing it for what it is, a cornerstone of good cat health. It's time to get our cats off the junk food and back to their roots. Let's talk about water, H2O, the stuff of life. For cats, it's a little more complicated than just putting out a bowl of it. As I mentioned, their ancestors were desert dwellers. They evolved to get the majority of their hydration directly from their prey. This means they don't have a strong thirst drive like dogs or humans do. You can put out the biggest, fanciest water fountain in the world, and your cat might still not drink enough to stay properly hydrated if they are only eating dry food. This is one of the most overlooked aspects of cat health. We assume they know what's best for them, but their instincts aren't built for a modern kibble-based diet. This is where wet food becomes the superhero of the cat world. A typical can of wet food is about 75 to 80% moisture. Every single bite your cat takes is a bite of food and a drink of water at the same time. This constant passive hydration is a game changer. It helps flush their system, keeping their kidneys and bladder working smoothly. Think of it like a gentle flowing river inside them, constantly moving toxins out. A diet of only dry food is more like a stagnant pond. Things can build up. That build-up can lead to urinary crystals, bladder stones, and chronic kidney disease, some of the most common and heartbreaking issues I see in cats. Beyond just hydration, the high moisture content in wet food helps with digestion. It helps move food through the gastrointestinal tract more efficiently, which can reduce issues like constipation, especially in older cats. It also helps your cat feel full. That water content takes up space in their stomach, signaling to their brain that they've had enough to eat. This is incredibly helpful for managing weight, as it prevents them from overeating the way they might with calorie-dense, unsatisfying dry kibble. You're giving them a meal that satisfies their hunger and hydrates them simultaneously. So when we champion wet food, we are really championing hydration. We are being proactive about our cat's health. We're not waiting for a problem to show up at the vet's office. We're working to prevent it from ever happening in the first place. This is what being a good cat guardian is all about. It's about understanding their unique biology and making choices that support it. Providing a moisture-rich diet is one of the single most important things you can do to ensure your cat has a long, healthy, and happy life. It's about creating a hydration nation right in your own home. The battle between wet food and dry kibble is a long-standing one. For decades, we've been told that dry food is great for our cats. It's convenient, it's less messy, and the big myth, it cleans their teeth. Let's tackle that last one first. The idea that crunchy kibble scrapes plaque off a cat's teeth is, for the most part, a myth. Most cats don't chew their kibble enough for it to have any scrubbing effect. They often swallow it whole. It's like saying eating crunchy pretzels will clean our teeth. It just doesn't work that way. True dental health comes from brushing, dental treats, or specific dental diets, not from standard kibble. The biggest issue with dry food, beyond the lack of moisture we've already covered, is its composition. To make those little dry pellets, you need a lot of carbohydrates and starches to act as binders. Cats are obligate carnivores. This means they are biologically designed to get their nutrients from meat, not from plants. Their bodies are not equipped to process large amounts of carbohydrates. A diet high in carbs can lead to obesity, diabetes, and other metabolic problems. It's like feeding a lion a diet of bread. It just doesn't align with their fundamental nature. Wet food, on the other hand, is typically much closer to a cat's natural diet. It's high in protein and low in carbohydrates. This protein comes from meat, which provides the essential amino acids, like taurine, that cats need to survive. A high-protein, low-carb diet helps cats maintain lean muscle mass, supports a healthy metabolism, and provides them with the right kind of energy. It honors the carnivore within. When you read the ingredients on a can of good quality wet food, you'll see meat, like chicken, turkey, or fish, as the first ingredient. That's exactly what you want to see. Now, I'm not saying dry food is pure evil. It has its place. It can be useful for free feeding in certain situations, for use in puzzle toys, or for households on a very tight budget. A combination of wet and dry food is certainly better than an all-dry diet, but the bulk of your cat's diet, the foundation of their nutrition, should come from high-quality wet food. It's about shifting the balance. Instead of a bowl of kibble with a spoonful of wet food on top, think of it as a meal of wet food with a few pieces of kibble sprinkled in as a treat or for enrichment. It's a total mindset shift. Kittens are little balls of pure energy. They're in a massive growth phase and their bodies are working overtime. In their first 6 months, they will do most of their growing. This means they need a ton of calories, protein, and nutrients to build strong bones, muscles, and organs. Their nutritional needs are off the charts compared to an adult cat. They need to eat more food, more often. You can't just put down a bowl of food and hope for the best. You need a plan to fuel this incredible transformation from a tiny fluff ball into a sleek, powerful cat. It's a critical window for their development. For kittens, wet food is king. Their tiny baby teeth aren't always ready for hard kibble, and wet food is much easier for them to eat and digest. Because their stomachs are so small, they can't eat a lot in one sitting. This means they need to eat multiple small meals throughout the day. I recommend feeding a kitten at least 3 to 4 meals of wet food per day. This ensures they have a constant supply of the energy and hydration they need to power through their endless cycles of playing, sleeping, and growing. Free feeding a kitten with only dry food can lead to them not getting enough moisture. You should always look for a food that is specifically formulated for kittens. These formulas have the higher levels of protein, fat, calcium, and other nutrients that are essential for their development. Don't just feed them an adult cat food. That would be like feeding a human baby a steak dinner. They just can't process it properly or get what they need from it. The label should clearly say for kittens or for all life stages. This ensures you are providing the building blocks they need to grow up healthy and strong, setting a foundation for a lifetime of good health. As they get older, around the 6-month mark, you can start to transition them towards a more adult feeding schedule. You can gradually reduce the number of meals from 4 down to 3, and then eventually to 2 meals a day by the time they are about a year old. This transition should be slow and steady. Watch their body condition and their energy levels. Are they still playful? Are they maintaining a healthy, lean weight? This early stage is all about observation and responding to their needs. Starting them on a wet food-centric diet from day one is one of the best gifts you can give your cat. Once your cat reaches adulthood, usually around 1 year old, their metabolism starts to slow down. They are no longer in that explosive growth phase of kittenhood. This is where, honestly, many cats start to pack on extra pounds if we're not careful. Their nutritional needs stabilize, and it's all about maintenance now. The goal is to maintain a healthy weight, lean muscle mass, and optimal organ function. For most adult cats, feeding 2 scheduled meals of wet food per day is the perfect rhythm. This typically means 1 meal in the morning and 1 in the evening. This creates a predictable routine, which cats really thrive on. A twice-a-day schedule does more than just control calories, you know. It allows you to monitor your cat's appetite and eating habits closely. When you put food down at a specific time, you immediately know if something is wrong. A cat who normally gobbles down their breakfast but suddenly shows no interest is sending you a clear signal that they might not be feeling well. With free-feeding dry kibble, it can take days to notice that your cat isn't eating as much as usual. Scheduled meals are a daily wellness check, and it's an invaluable tool for catching health problems early. The how often is simple, twice a day. The how much is the part that requires your attention. We'll get into portion control more later, but for now, just know that the feeding guidelines on the can are just a starting point. Your cat's activity level, metabolism, and even the temperature of your home can affect how many calories they need. An indoor cat who naps all day needs significantly fewer calories than a cat who has safe access to an outdoor catio and spends hours running and climbing. You are the one who sees your cat every day, so you are the best judge of their needs. If your schedule makes 2 meals a day difficult, there are solutions. Automatic pet feeders that work with wet food, the kind with ice packs, can be a lifesaver. This ensures your cat gets their meal on time, even if you're running late from work. The key is consistency. Cats are, by nature, creatures of habit. A predictable mealtime routine reduces stress and anxiety. It tells them, don't worry, food is coming. Your world is safe and stable. This sense of security is a massive component of a cat's overall mojo and confidence in their territory. As our beloved cats enter their senior years, typically from around 10 or 11 years old and onwards, their bodies begin to change once again. Their metabolism may slow down further, their senses of smell and taste might dull, and they can become more prone to certain health issues like arthritis, kidney disease, and dental problems. Nutrition becomes more critical than ever during this stage. It's no longer just about maintenance, it's about support. We need to provide them with a diet that is easy to eat, easy to digest, and packed with the right kind of supportive nutrients. For senior cats, wet food is non-negotiable. It should be the primary, if not the only, source of their nutrition. The high moisture content is vital for supporting aging kidneys, which is one of the most common ailments in older cats. Furthermore, as cats age, they often develop dental issues or have had teeth extracted, making it painful to chew hard kibble. Soft, wet food is much more gentle on their mouths. The strong aroma of wet food can also help entice a senior cat with a diminished sense of smell to eat, ensuring they don't lose weight unintentionally. You may also need to adjust the feeding frequency for your senior cat. While 2 meals a day might still work, some older cats do better with smaller, more frequent meals. Just like kittens, their digestive systems can be more sensitive, and large meals might be harder for them to process. Splitting their daily food allowance into 3 or 4 small meals can improve digestion and keep their energy levels more stable throughout the day. This also gives you more opportunities to check in on them, give them some gentle affection, and make sure they are comfortable and eating well. Look for senior-specific wet food formulas. These are often designed with controlled levels of phosphorus to support kidney health, added antioxidants to boost their aging immune system, and ingredients like glucosamine to support joint health. If your senior cat is losing weight, you might need a higher calorie food. If they are gaining weight due to inactivity, a lower calorie light formula might be better. This is a time to work closely with your veterinarian. Regular checkups can help you tailor your senior cat's diet perfectly to their changing needs, giving them the best possible quality of life in their golden years. So we've established that wet food is the way to go, and for most adult cats, 2 meals a day is the right frequency. Now comes, honestly, the trickiest part: how much do you actually put in the bowl? This is where so many of us go wrong. We look at the feeding guidelines on the can, we look at our cat's pleading eyes, and, well, we end up overfeeding. The guidelines on the packaging are just that, a guide. They are a starting point, not a strict rule. In fact, they are often calculated for active, unneutered cats, which doesn't describe the average indoor house cat. The best way to determine the right portion size is to use a method called body condition scoring. You don't need a scale, just your hands and your eyes. A cat at a healthy weight should have a visible waist when you look at them from above. You should be able to feel their ribs with a gentle press but not see them. If you can't feel their ribs at all, they're likely overweight. If their ribs are very prominent, they may be underweight. Adjust their food portions based on this assessment, not just on what the can says or how much they beg. A little less or a little more can make a big difference. Once you figure out the right daily amount, be precise. Use a measuring cup or even a kitchen scale to ensure you are feeding the exact same amount every day. A scoop is not a precise measurement. One person's scoop might be very different from another's. This precision is especially important in multi-person households to make sure the cat isn't getting fed twice by 2 different people. Consistency is key to weight management. Remember that a single extra pound on a 10-pound cat is the equivalent of an extra 15 to 20 pounds on a human. A small amount of overfeeding adds up quickly. And don't forget to factor in treats. Treats have calories too, and they need to be part of the daily calorie calculation. A good rule of thumb is that treats should make up no more than 10% of your cat's total daily caloric intake. If you're using treats for training or just for fun, you may need to slightly reduce the amount of food you give them at mealtime. It's all about balance. Being on portion patrol isn't about depriving your cat. It's about loving them enough to protect them from the serious health risks associated with obesity. Not every cat fits neatly into the kitten, adult, or senior box. Many cats have special health needs that require a more tailored approach to their diet. Overweight cats, for instance, are an epidemic. For these cats, a wet food diet is a powerful tool for weight loss. The high water content helps them feel full, while the high protein content helps them maintain muscle mass as they lose fat. Simply switching an overweight cat from free-fed dry food to portion-controlled wet food can often be enough to start them on a successful weight loss journey without them feeling constantly hungry. Then there are cats with specific medical conditions. A cat with diabetes, for example, will do best on a very low-carbohydrate, wet food diet. The low-carb nature of wet food helps to stabilize their blood sugar levels, and in some cases of feline diabetes, a diet change alone can actually put the cat into remission. For cats with urinary tract issues like crystals or stones, a prescription wet urinary diet is often necessary. The increased moisture intake from the wet food is critical for flushing the bladder and preventing future flare-ups. It's truly medicinal. Cats with food allergies or sensitivities also need special consideration. These issues often show up as skin problems like itching and over-grooming, or gastrointestinal upset such as vomiting or diarrhea. The solution is often a novel protein or hydrolyzed protein diet. This means feeding them a wet food made with a protein source they've never had before, like duck or rabbit, or a food where the proteins are broken down so small that the immune system doesn't recognize them as a threat. Working with your vet to conduct a strict food trial is the best way to pinpoint the problem ingredient and find a diet that works. In all of these special cases, the how often and how much questions should be answered in close partnership with your veterinarian. They can recommend the right therapeutic diet and help you calculate the precise number of calories your cat needs to manage their condition. Never diagnose your cat yourself or start them on a prescription diet without veterinary guidance. These diets are finely tuned medical tools, but the underlying principle remains the same. For almost every medical condition, a moisture-rich meat-based diet in the form of wet food is going to be a foundational part of the solution. Feeding time shouldn't just be about dumping food in a bowl. It's actually a major event in your cat's day. It's a chance to engage their instincts, build your bond, and add enrichment to their lives. Let's bring back the mojo to mealtime. A huge part of a cat's natural behavior is the hunt. In our homes, we've taken that away, but we can give a piece of it back by making them work a little for their food. Instead of just one bowl, try splitting their wet food meal into a few smaller portions and placing them in different spots around the house. This encourages them to move, explore, and hunt for their meal. Another fantastic way to engage their brains is with food puzzles. While many food puzzles are designed for dry kibble, there are plenty of options for wet food too. Licking mats are a perfect example. You can smear the wet food onto the textured surface of the mat. This not only makes the meal last longer, but the act of licking is also calming and soothing for cats. There are also puzzle bowls with divots and ridges that make the cat slow down and work to get every last bite. This prevents them from scarfing and barfing and turns a 2-minute meal into a 10-minute activity. The location and type of bowl matter too. Many cats experience whisker fatigue, a type of stress that occurs when their sensitive whiskers repeatedly touch the sides of a deep bowl. This can cause them to be hesitant to eat. The solution is simple. Use a wide, shallow bowl or even just a flat plate. This allows them to eat comfortably without their whiskers getting overstimulated. Also, be sure to place the food bowl in a quiet, low-traffic area away from the litter box. No one wants to eat in their bathroom, and cats are no different. They need to feel safe to enjoy their meal. Finally, use mealtime as a bonding opportunity. Be present. Talk to your cat in a calm, happy voice as you prepare their food. Stay with them for a few minutes while they eat. This reinforces your role as the provider of good things and strengthens your connection. Mealtime is a ritual. By making it a positive, engaging, and predictable part of their day, you're contributing massively to their overall sense of well-being and confidence. You're not just a can opener, you are the bringer of joy, the creator of the hunt, and the guardian of their mojo. We've covered a lot of ground, but it all comes down to a few simple truths. Cats are carnivores who evolved in the desert. Their bodies are designed for a diet that is high in protein and rich in moisture, which they would naturally get from their prey. A diet centered around wet food is the single best way we can replicate this in our homes. It's not a treat, it's the cornerstone of their health, helping to support everything from their kidneys and urinary tract to maintaining a healthy weight. It's about honoring the raw cat that lives within every one of our feline friends. The frequency is simple. For most adult cats, 2 scheduled meals of portion-controlled wet food per day is the gold standard. Kittens need more 3 to 4 meals a day to fuel their growth, while some senior cats may also benefit from smaller, more frequent meals to aid digestion. But remember, every cat is an individual. Pay attention to their body condition, their energy levels, and their behavior. You are the expert on your cat. Use that knowledge, in partnership with your vet, to create the perfect feeding plan for them. To make it even easier, here's a quick cheat sheet, a list of do's and don'ts to pin on your fridge. This is your quick glance guide to keeping your cat's nutrition on the right track. Following these simple rules will help you avoid common pitfalls and ensure you're making the best choices for your cat's health and happiness every single day. Your wet food cheat sheet. Do make wet food the foundation of your cat's diet for optimal hydration. Do feed adult cats 2 scheduled meals per day. Do feed kittens and some seniors smaller, more frequent meals, 3 to 4 per day. Do use a body condition score to determine the right portion size. Do use food puzzles or licking mats to make mealtime more engaging. Do use a wide, shallow bowl to prevent whisker fatigue. Do consult your vet for any special dietary needs. Don't rely on dry food as the main source of nutrition. Don't free feed, as it leads to overeating and hides appetite changes. Don't trust the feeding guidelines on the can as the absolute rule. Don't forget to factor treats into your cat's total daily calorie intake. Don't place food and water bowls right next to the litter box. Don't think of wet food as just a treat. It's essential fuel.